Hey everyone, this is Like24, and today I have for you a Dark Dragon deck. Now, I'm running a Dark Dragon deck with Gandora on it because he is a Dark Dragon. And well, let's do the deck profile, and then I'll tell you what I think about this deck. So it's two Gandoras, three Double Custons, and Double Custons, if you don't know what it does, it acts as two tributes for any Dark monster. Then two Dark Storm Dragons, three Dweller in the Depths. One twin-headed Behemoth, and a Totem Dragon. The spells: two Stabbing Destruction, two Enemy Controllers, the two Banner of Courage, and two Mirror Wall. Alright, so starting off, I think I'm going to be taking Gandora straight out of this deck and replacing it with something else. It's a good gimmicky effect, I think. It's not really good for competitive play or anything, and it's only good in those lower tier games, like in Silver 3 and 4. And whenever you summon a Gandora in one of those lower tiered games, you will most of the time win. And a lot of the times your opponent is just going to rage quit because he just went extremely negative with a single Gandora. And if you don't know what Gandora does, is whenever it gets normal summoned or flip summoned or however it is you summon it, you can't special summon it. That's one thing. So whenever it gets summoned, it can go ahead and you can pay half of your life points, and it'll destroy every single card on the field. And then his attack goes up by 300 for every card that got destroyed. So if your opponent has a ton of cards and you have a ton of cards too, it can get a huge attack boost. But other than that, it's gonna stay like in the 15 or 18s most of the time. If you're playing in a higher ranked game, most of the time people don't overcommit to the field, and it just ends up being dead. Now, so the Double Custons, I think, were the MVP of the deck because there were 17 attack beat sticks. And I was just, while I was testing the deck out, I was just drawing them, and I was just able to attack with them, and that was like my main beater. The Darkstorm Dragons, they're okay. They're a 27 attack beat stick, and I was thinking that I was gonna summon them, and then I was gonna be able to second summon it and then activate its effect, but that usually never came out. I just won because he had the 27 attack. And that's the only way I was using it. And maybe in the future, if there's better Dark Dragons, we can replace them. Well, we can replace them. We're going to be replacing the Gandora with something else. I think maybe two Barrel Dragons, or maybe any other two Dark monsters. Maybe Voltanis, and then add some counter trap cards. But overall, the Gandora, it's not great. It's fun to play it in low tiers, but other than that, I'm just going to be taking them out. The three Dwellers, they actually go up to 2,000 whenever you have the Banner of Courage. And if you're playing against someone that has mounts, and a lot of people in those lower ranks do, so it is a huge monster whenever you're playing in competitive. I'm only running one twin-headed Behemoth, and the only reason for that is that it acts as a tribute, and it has two... it can defend 2 times with his effect. It can be normal summoned. And the Totem Dragon, I actually was thinking of running maybe 2 or 3 Totem Dragons. However, they haven't come up in the card trader yet, and this is the only one that's come up, so it's the only one I have in here. And if you don't know what Totem Dragon does, it's basically whenever he gets sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it in the next turn during your standby phase if you don't have any other monsters, and he acts as 2 tributes for any dragon type. So it's a really good card for tribute dragons. And it can also take 2 attacks. So one when it gets destroyed, and the second time whenever it gets destroyed by the second attack. And one thing is that whenever he gets destroyed the second time, it has to get removed, so it doesn't go to the graveyard. Unlike like Treeborn Frog or anything like that. But I doubt we'll be getting Treeborn Frog anytime soon, so I think this is a good option for now. The Stabbing Destructions, they're just there to replace the Twisters, and almost everything in here are dragons except for the Double Custon, so you shouldn't have any problems to get them off. The enemy controllers are there just for defense, and then enemy controllers wins games every now and then. Whenever your opponent summons a monster and you have 2 monsters, you can tribute one of them, take control of your opponents, and attack for game. Banner of Courage boosts everything into everything's attack, and it boosts this guy like even more than everything else, because the Dweller's effect is whenever this says this card gains 300 attack for each continuous spell card in your spell and trap card zone. So it goes up high whenever you have two of them. And then the Mirror Walls, they're Mirror Walls. They really don't need any explanation other than that. And I was thinking about running, not running the Mirror Walls, running a Windstorm, and maybe a Judgment of Anubis or something else. Because in my opinion, Mirror Walls are extremely OP, and I think they either need to be restricted or they need to be banned. And I do have 3 of them, but I really don't like to play the 3 of them in any deck. Like I said, they're extremely OP, and they're like, I think they hold you back from getting better at the game. If you're just gonna put 3 Mirror Walls in the deck, you might as well just be running like, I don't know, because they just by themselves win the game. If you can literally be running anything, any other monster, it doesn't really matter as long as you run 3 Mirror Walls and like 3 enemy controllers and 3 Sphere Karibos. You can literally put anything in between, and you most of the time will win the game if your opponent isn't running something similar. But that's going to be the deck. I do have, I think, 2 replays. Go ahead and enjoy them. I mean, if you have any comments, or if you want to go ahead and improve this deck or give some suggestions, I leave them in the comment section below. And if you're enjoying my content, go ahead and do subscribe and do leave a like. And if you don't like it, just go ahead and leave a dislike and let me know why you're disliking it. Alright, so that's going to be it for today, and I guess we'll talk tomorrow.